guys, how's it going? Zoodiac28 here, and welcome to another episode of Z Time. In this episode, we are going to detail my deck list that, can you believe it, won a freaking tournament. Yeah, I know, I'm so happy. And this tournament was brought to you by Project Duel Club. This was a 11-person tournament, but don't let that number fool you. There's some great competition in this tournament, some hard competition, and these are some great players. So don't let that fool you. I will detail that more in just a minute, though. But first, I want to give you a little more information about Project Duel Club. Project Duel Club is a community on Discord. I'll show you here. There's their logo and such. They have something for everybody. It's a great place to hang out. They have Yu-Gi-Oh! They have Zinzard, I can't pronounce it, but they have it. They have Duel Links. They're big on Duel Links. They have Duel Link tournaments. They have TCG tournaments. This was the first one, and I won it, so I'm happy. But they have everything, something for everybody. And if you're not a part of them right now, I recommend joining them. You will not regret it. Just be nice. Don't be an ass. But usually everybody's pretty cool there, and you will love it there. I love it there. I love to be a part of that community, and I hope to be a part of that community for a very, very, very long time. Hopefully forever. So, yeah. So I can't wait till they hold more TCG tournaments. I can't wait till they hold more events, and I love that place. So check it out. Now, I won their first tournament, the Project Duel Cup, and I am so happy and so excited. It's my first tournament I ever won. I've got second a few times in APS tournaments run by the same people here. And I've gotten top 16 twice in MPT tournaments. I've gotten top 40 in some regionals when those were going on. And I've gotten top 60 in YCSs. But I have never, 2 YCSs, but I have never, ever won. And this time I finally did. And I've done it with my favorite deck, Zoodiac. So I am here to tell you, this, I believe, is the way to do it. Not because I won the tournament. Because I've had multiple successes versus the top meta decks with this deck. So, if you're going to build Zoodiac, I recommend playing this. This is a Ghost Second Zoo. Now, I will say, with any deck, whether it's Zoodiac or whatever it is, the glove has to fit the hand. Meaning, you have to like what you're playing, and it has to work for you. Everybody has a different play style. So what works for me may not work for you. That has nothing to do with this list. That's just the way it goes. Some people like control decks, some people like beatdown decks, some people like combo decks, some people like stun decks. And then there's different variations of each one. So what works for me may not work for you, and what works for you may not work for me. I just want to say, if you're going to play, if you like playing blind second decks and you like Zoodiac or want to check it out, I recommend using this as a template. This has had great success. It has its weaknesses, which I will go over, but this has had a lot of success, and I recommend you playing this. One of the top decks in the format is Zoodiac Eldritch. Some would say it's better than this. Even I would say maybe it's better than this. It has more consistency. It's about consistency, more maybe recursion. And I guess consistency too, the Eldritch part. But it has a lot more going for it than this. This is basically Zeus Turbo. So Zoodiac Eldritch did not work for me. I tried it. I lost like 4 games in a row in the MPT's tournament with it. And I had to drop out. So it did not work for me. I don't know why. It's a great deck. I know it is. I recognize it. But it just does not work for me. And I think that is because it's not my play style. It's just not what I like. And that goes for everything. So, if you're going to play the blind second deck, like I said, check this out. Check this out, right? So, let me go over the card by card. We'll see what you think. Play 2, Nibiru's. Why 2, not 3? Well, the third one's down here in the side. Only 2 because it's good, but it's not great. And if it's great, it's not amazing. And I'll tell you why. Everybody has some sort of protection. Either it's Apollousa, Gossip Shadow, or Miscellaneousaurus, or something or another. Somebody always has something. And then on top of that, some decks like Dragon Link can even play through it. So it's not amazing. If it's great, it's not amazing. If it's good, it's not great. But it is good enough to play 2, because you play rogue decks that just can't go through this, or you catch them at a time where maybe late in the game they 7-5, they don't have any protection or no follow-up plays, slap down the bureau, and what can they do? Rocky Boy goes Rocky Boy. Now, I play 3, I can never say this thing, Godarla, the Mystery Dust Kaiju. Why? Well, this blank second deck Kaiju does Kaiju things. Every Kaiju does Kaiju things. I love Kaijus who do Kaiju things. It gets rid of boss monsters, gets rid of Dragoon, gets rid of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, gets rid of all the other problematic boss monsters and other cards that may be problematic. But why this one specifically? Well, because there's one deck in particular, Bird Up, Lyrilisc, and Tri-Brigade mashup, that plays the Wind Barrier Statue. Now, other decks play that too. I know a Dino deck was playing it. A few Dino decks were. And I'm not sure if I don't think Dragon Link was, but other decks were playing this Wind Barrier Statues, not just Bird Up. So, this, if I get Wind Barrier Statue, and unless I draw Dark Ruler No More, or Raigeki, I can't get over it. They have it in defense mode, so Lightning Storm's not going to do anything. And if I don't draw Dimension Shifter or Lancia, that I can't stop him doing that. Godarla has extra protection, because if they have the Wind Barrier Statue, I can just tribute over that, and I'm good to go. So that's why it's there. It's double-sided. It's Kaiju, great for anything, plus it has a little bit of more protection versus the Wind Barrier Statue. Now, if the Wind Barrier Statue falls out of favor, throw in your Gamma Seals. But right now, I believe this is the best Kaiju for the format. 1, Pankratops. This is a blind second deck. Pankratops is Pankratops. It's a quick effect pop. It's a Dryden. I played Dryden. I have 2 Drydens now, right? No, this is a great card. If you're playing blind second deck, I recommend playing this card. 3 Dimension Shifters. Now, Dimension Shifter is bonkers. 95% of the decks lose to this card. Maybe not lose. If I could OTK, they lose. But they at least pass the turn. You can set up some Zeus. You can get more cards in your hand for hand traps to stop them in their next turn. This card is nuts. Late game, it sucks. It's brick. But it's great going first. Allows you to set up. It allows you to build things, set up. But here's the thing. You don't just want to shotgun it. You want to get them to have some cards in the graveyard. That way, you can slap this down. They get stopped mid-combo, and what are they going to do? That's better than having them have the combo still in hand. They just get it next turn. You want to put them at a choke point, or at least something close to it, and this card can do that for you. Ideally, though, you want to play it on your turn, if you can. If somehow you can stop them, or clear the board without playing this, and having cards in your graveyard, play this card on your turn, because then you can set up. They can't do nothing on their turn. It goes back to your turn, and you get in for a lot of damage, honestly. And it can set up even more. 3 Artifact Lancia. It's basically the same thing as Dimension Shifter. A lot of decks love to banish. They do. If they can't banish, they can't do nothing. Look at Dinosaurs. You can't banish Miscellaneous Swords. You can't use Double Evolution Pill. Look at Dragon Link. The black and white dragons cannot go off. Levianeer cannot go off. So, and there's other cards as well. So, I mean, Virtual World is just totally dead in the water. Tri-Brigade, gone. They can't do their Tri-Brigade stuff. So, this card is just basically the same thing as Dimension Shifter, just in the opposite way. In my opinion, Dimension Shifter is better, because it does banish all the cards, but this card is really good this format. In the March 2021 format, I recommend playing this card. Hell, main deck in this card. Some people side it. I was siding it before this. I recommend main decking it. Now, not every deck is going to go, need to banish, but more decks do. 8 out of 10 times you're going to find some deck that loves to banish. That's where this comes in. You have Zoodiac Thoroughblade. I think it is the tied for first, maybe second best Zoodiac in the deck. Not much can be said. The effect to discard 1 and draw 1 is not a cost, so that's good. You don't always want to activate it, because if they have an empty board, they can Gambit and you lose your Zoo. If they have other negates on board, you don't want them to negate this and destroy this, because then you lose your Zoo. And losing your Zoo means losing your Zeus, and you don't want to do that. So, sometimes it's best just to throw this down, Xyz on top of it, and go off. It really is. Now, the reason I say it's maybe not the best zoo, because its effect is kind of pointless. It's piercing. That's it. And it really don't come in handy that often. The draw effect is good, but you don't really activate it that often either. So really, it's just a 1700 or 1600 body, which that does come in handy more often than not because of Tiger Mortar. Sometimes Shockadine too. You can bring it back. Whiptail's good. 3 Whiptail. It's Whiptail. Has the banish effect if it's a material for a Xyz Beast Warrior monster, Zoodiac. And it can also attach itself to a Beast Warrior Xyz monster, which is Zoodiac, from the hand or field. It's great for beefing up monsters. That's basically what I use it for. The banishing effect does not come in hand, often that much, but it is there. It is nice to have. I did use it once in the tournament I won here. Last tournament, I used it to attach itself to a Tiger Mortar, I believe, to banish a Tri-Brigade Strike. If the Tri-Brigade Strike goes to the banish pile there, it cannot get its search effect or float effect. So I stopped that. I cut off the resources. So it does come in handy. It's great versus Eldritch because you can banish Golden Lord. It's great versus sometimes Dino because you can banish Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, but it's so beefy by itself, it's hard to get over without losing your zoo. Sometimes it's best just to zoos. So it's good at 3. It's better than the rest of the zoos. Bunny Blast is because I wanted a 10th zoo card. Its effect to when it's material, it can negate an activation of a spell card that targets it. Doesn't ever really come in handy. It's there, I guess, if needed, but doesn't really come in handy. The other effect, where if it's destroyed a battle or card effect, I can target 1 zoo in my graveyard and add it to my hand. Never comes in play, ever. So it's really just there because I wanted a 10th zoo, and I wanted someone with a little bit of attack. Rat Pier is great because it can send a zoo from the grave to deck to grave, but really that you don't really want to do that because it's the same reason you don't want to activate Thoroughblade's effect. You'll lose your zoo on all these other negation effects that your opponent can activate. So I figured let's get a zoo in there with some attack to beef up some monsters, beef up Tiger Mortar. So that's what I did. Worked out to 800 attack is 800 attack. Sometimes that's all you need. 3 Ram. I love Ram. 2000 defense, kind of beefy, but it's really the effects that's great. So if this card is a destroy a battle or card effect, I can target a Zoodiac monster in my graveyard and special summon it. If your opponent activates a trap card that targets this card, you can detach a material and negate the activation. That's great versus imperms. It's great versus dogmatic punishments. I don't know if Chuche targets or not, but nonetheless, this is great for those situations. Those cards you're going to find more somewhat, and they do come in handy sometimes, especially when you're playing like Dogmatica versions. Or imperms coming back in favor, and this helps, really. Usually they'll wait till you get Zeus and just do that, but at least you can chain Zeus too. 3 Ash Blossom, because Ash Blossom stops searches. That's great. 1 Regeki. People wonder why I play Regeki. I'll tell you why I play Regeki. It's always live. It destroys all your opponent's monsters. Doesn't matter if it's defense position, attack position. It destroys all your opponent's monsters. And a lot of times, you can combine this with Dark Ruler No More and go bye-bye everything and throw at your Zeus. And have a 2-material Zeus for your opponent's next turn. It's great. It is really, really great. I really believe people are sleeping on Regeki. I really do. I know it's a 1-up, but it has come in handy a lot. It has destroyed a lot of things. And sometimes some decks don't play negation boards. They play destruction boards, and they want to stun you out with like a Wind Barrier statue. You play Regeki, it gets rid of all that. Dinosaurs gets rid of all that, unless they have the one that negates the dragon Xyz monster that negates the spell or trap cards. I forgot the name of it, but still, you play Dark Ruler No More, and there you go. And Lightning Storm does the same thing, but the problem with Lightning Storm is they're putting a lot of cards in defense mode. And even if they don't, sometimes you have cards on the field, like if you Nibiru them, or if you use Tinky, you can't use Lightning Storm no more. So that's why I only play 2 Lightning Storm, which is the next card. Because yes, it is like Nibiru. It is good, but not great. If it is great, it's not amazing. Because yes, it gets rid of stuff. It's a great blind second card. The problem is, later in the game, it kind of falls where Dimension Shifter is. You always have something on board. Unless you Zeus everything, then Zeus goes away, then Lightning Storm is viable again. Which is why I play it, because it does come in handy every now and then. Oftentimes, though, it just sits in my hand. But it's not a bad card. It's good, especially for back row. 3-Part of Desires, I need to draw. If I banish 10, I don't care. I don't need that. So I sometimes banish 20, and I really don't care, because all I need is really one zoo monster to go into anything I want to go into. So it's basically almost a pot of greed. So $3 Dark Ruler or more, it's a great card. It is the all-star of this deck, because if your opponent gets everything on board, you throw Dark Ruler no more, what can they do? Unless they're playing Virtual World, and they can chain and get rid of that. Or Dragon Link Tan too, because they can chain what is it, the Dragon Maid Trap, I think, and then chain Hot Red Archfiend Dragon to that, or Hot Red Dragon, whatever, to that. So it's kind of iffy versus them, so you need more than just Dark Ruler No More. But Dark Ruler No More takes care of a lot of other decks, so it's a really good card. 1 Avarice. Now, I found out in some testing I needed a recursion. Sometimes I run out of materials, and I can't get it back. Well, that's where Avarice comes in. Now, I know you can banish it off Desires, and sometimes that's okay. But it is nice to have. Sometimes it comes in handy when you draw it. It's just nice to have, really. Same thing with Monster Reborn. It's nice to have. It basically is the same thing with Zoodiac Barrage. It's a 1-up, but hey, it's nice to have when you play it. So you may banish it, and that's fine. But if you do draw it, it's great. 3 Tinky. It searches Zoo. It searches any level 4 or lower Beast Warrior. It searches Zoo. That's great. I cannot be caught without this card. 3 Zeus. This is the man, the boy, the master. He says you have cards, not no more. I love this card to death. I sincerely hope they don't limit it or ban it, because I don't know what I'm going to do. And unless we get Utopic Future Dragon, I don't know what I'm going to do. But this card's amazing. This is the reason this deck runs right here. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what else to say about Zoo. It's a really freaking great card. 1 Drill Driver Vespinato. This card here is really underrated, I believe. People overlook this. It has the same effect basically as all the Zoo monsters in Zeus. It can just slap itself down on his Xyz monster, basically. But I use it for OTKing, or not really OTKing, just going for late game pushes. It's 2,500 attack, so it's nothing to scoff at. But here's the thing: if it is destroyed by an opponent's card, just destroyed by an opponent's card, I can target 1 level 5 or lower monster in my graveyard and special summon it. So, I mean, that brings back a Zoo monster. And what's really funny is you can bring back a Ram, and then they destroy Ram, and then you can bring back another Zoo. So it kind of does have a little bit of a recursion. So it's nice to have. Hardly ever actually comes into play, but it's nice to have. 3 Tiger Mortar. What can I say? Tiger Mortar is a Zoodiac card, and it beefs it up. It beefs itself up or any other Zoodiac monster beefs it up. You can take 1 Zoodiac monster in the grave and attach it to this card or another Zoodiac monster. It's really great. 1 Hammer Kong. This guy is just Xyz fodder. Just something, more material. That's all he does. He doesn't do anything else. 2 Shockanine. Shockanine's good, but I really don't want to revive stuff, because I'll just get rid of it with Zeus anyway. So she's good for late game pushes and just more material. The lady, Trident. Love me, Trident. What can I say? It pops. It's a quick effect pop. She dies. She dies quickly, but she's always there when you need her. She's always got your back. The All-Star of Zoodiac at the moment, Borbo. It can attack directly and give you Zeus. I never thought Borbo would be great, but hey, Borbo's great. And I run 1 Megaclops. I wasn't usually running 1 Megaclops for a while. I actually cut it out, but I brought it back for an alternative win condition. And some decks just don't expect it anymore because of Zeus, and some decks just can't out it. That's really it. I don't always summon it, hardly ever summon it, but if I do summon it, it's because I know their deck either has an extremely hard time outing it, and the rest of my cards they've designed to stop them. So I'll throw out Megaclops, and it kind of throws a wrench in their plans. Sometimes, really, it's just an auto win button. They surrender. That actually happened to me last tournament. I threw it out, and there's nothing he could have done. He surrendered. So it's good to have, again. Side deck is other than Nibiru. I've explained that. 2 Phantasmes or 2 Thanos. Now, I was playing 3. I love to play 3, but I just can't find the room. It's for Dragon Link, basically. They link a lot. It's for Dragon Link. I have a hard time getting over Dragon Link. This deck does, because you need a lot to break their board. Because one Dark Ruler or more, 1 Kaiju, it's just not going to cut it. You need more than just that. So this kind of helps with the targeting protection, where I can get out Zeus, and then get rid of everything. So that's why, too. I want to play 3. I just honestly don't know what to cut. I might cut the 3rd Nibiru, actually, for this, because Dragon Link is that powerful. Actually, I think that's what I'm going to do. 3 Skullmeisters. Graveyard Effects is still running around. It's not as relevant, I don't think. At least it's not, as like Virtual World's not running around. But it still is there, and I like to have it just in case. That's really it. 3 Drone Longbirds. It's, again, just in case. A lot of deck searches, a lot of rogue deck searches. This stops them. Helps me out. So it's there if I need it. 1 Heart Piece, 2 Cosmic for back row decks, Mystic Bind decks, stuff like that. That's really all it's there for. That's it. 3 Gozen Match. Now, this is kind of a new addition. You may be wondering. Zoroark. Zeus is a light monster. Yes. Nibiru is a light monster. Goldarla is a wind monster. It goes on. Here's the thing with that, though. Sometimes Zeus just doesn't cut it. It doesn't. It's a great card, but doesn't cut it. Because their deck just runs it away. It's like Dragon Maids. My deck has a hell of a time with Dragon Maids. Dragon Maids run different attributes. I think D-Link, Dragon Link runs different attributes too. But if a deck runs different attributes and they're getting around Zeus, I'll side Nibiru. I'll side probably Goldarla as well, depending. And I'll throw in Gozen Match. All Zeus are Earth attribute. Megaclops is Earth attribute. So it can be another win condition, another path I go to win. It's a great card, and it really can stun a lot of decks out. Guys, that's all I have for today. I was going to do a deck breakdown and kind of talk about the tournament a little bit. I have 1 match I recorded. 2. I have 1 I recorded live, and 1 I got a replay of. I'll do a commentary over, so I'll have those out a little later when I can get them out. But for right now, I just wanted to do a deck breakdown and say I am really happy with this deck, and I really recommend you give this a shot. I really am excited for this deck and see what this can do in the future for more tournaments. I might do a little alterations, but guys, this is the deck really for me, and I hope you like it too. So, guys, thanks for watching, and watch out for the next Z-Time videos. I have some more coming. So, I'll see you later.